I don't know about you, but I remember Michelle Rodriguez catching a lot of flack for saying that we don't need more race-blind casting and remakes of what were historically lily white productions. I will note, as I was looking up this factoid, I came across her defense of Liam Neeson, and no, that is objectively one of the worst logical arguments I've come across, and I've had to write my own geometry proofs.
Ooh, self-burn. Those are rare.
But her point about the superhero genre applies across all genres, and it's only being increasingly proven over the years. I grew up on HBO's Happily Ever After, a fairy tale for every child. No, my parents did not have HBO cable package money. HBO just gives out little samples of its cable packages every once in a while, just to taste. I devoured Crashbox, but I digress. Happily Ever After has 2 stories per half-hour episode, and every story is one we all know because colonialism, and on the off chance you don't know it, it's guaranteed to be in every English-speaking school library. But every story is set in a different culture from that of its origin. In the name of multiculturalism, melanin, to have fun with different musical genres? I don't know. It's never been fully explained to my satisfaction. The one that sticks with me most hilariously is Rip Van Winkle, not because it's a white retelling of a white story, but because for some reason I could have sworn that I'd heard the opening song on the radio. I'm hippy dippy, a little bit trippy, but that's okay with me. 'Cause all I need to make me smile is a little incense and a tapestry. A little incense and a tapestry. Iconic. How did they get away with making a drug reference in a kid's show? The magic of cable, I guess? But my favorite is The Princess and the Pea, which proves my point. It's not even an ancient European folktale, it's Hans Christian Andersen's story. And they made it Korean just 'cause. I don't know whom that's good enough for, but it's not good enough for me. I'm Latin. Our children's media representation up until Encanto was Chich Marin playing a chihuahua with an impeccable taste in music, listening to Buscando Guayaba by Rubén Blades. Emperor's New Groove, except no, because we're not in the voice cast. Though Oscar de Leon is the theme song guy in the dub. Es genial, okay? Ruth El Dorado, where 1/3 of the principals is voiced by a Puerto Rican playing a pan-Mesoamerican. It's like Pocahontas' dad being voiced by a member of the Oglala Lakota Nation. Very different pieces of territory. Atlantis, where we have an Argentinian playing a Mexican because she lived in LA. I don't know. My partner is not remotely Latin, and even he was like... You'll notice most of those people are very light indeed. Even Sophia the First doesn't count because they went out of their way to confirm that she's not from any actual Spanish-speaking country. We're literally closer with Giselle from Enchanted because she's from Andalasia, which is 1 letter away from Andalusia, Al-Andalus. And even if she were, I wouldn't count her for the same reason I'm not counting Dora the Explorer who is Pan-Latin, because they're episodic. That's not a narrative, a one-shot narrative. My dudes, we are starved for representation. That's a big part of why Encanto was such a big hit. And yet, if Disney came out tomorrow saying they were planning on an Ecuadorian live-action remake of Sleeping Beauty, I still would not be here for it. I do not want more race-bent European stories. I want more stories from everywhere else. There's so many stories in this world. Remakes should only be attempted when there's a hope of improving upon previous productions. As a rabid fan of period pieces, I can pick and choose by now from various productions of some of my favorite books. The 90s were really the start of bigger budgets and more attention being paid to historical accuracy. Not least because of Colin Firth winning a wet undershirt contest that Andrew Davies didn't know he'd signed him up for. So while I'm always here for on-location shooting and lighting and clothing and makeup being closer to reality, all the waxed candles and hand-sewn eyelet holes in the world cannot improve upon Brian Blessed. For fuck's sake, let's move on.